Coming up is a video Jane and myself did on Facebook Live. We're going to publish them here on YouTube as well. So as well as liking, sharing and commenting on this video here on YouTube, you can also come and enjoy watching us on Facebook. We'll be there, you can ask questions, you can join in the banter, and it's quite light, quite fun, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So follow my channel here on YouTube and follow us on Facebook too.
We do need time for ourselves to sort of, this is why I like the Chinese philosophy where they're doing Taichi, a movement of the mind, keep the mind still.
Well, that works on a different level altogether, doesn't it, really? I mean, that is, now we're moving from what psychological healing, self-healing, you know, which is like thinking good and feeling good, you know, to a more different level, because you're talking now on the sort of like the energy level healing. Because that's what Taichi does. It moves what's called the chi, which in the Indians call the prana, and Tibetans call the ka, is it, or something? But no, it's the Egyptians. But whatever, we can also make ourselves well and healthy and fit and active by spiritually.
Well, yes, and it's like concentrating on the meridian lines, and also, like you're saying, prana, energy. But also, if someone's suddenly told they've got cancer, first thing they would do is go into shock and feel sad and feel everything. But if you was positive and you felt, it depends where the cancer was, if you felt, well, I'm going to fight this, I still need to be here, my children and that, and do a visualization, because I feel that's most important. I mean, you know, it's amazing how people, and the power of prayer and people being really strong and active, that they can suddenly get a lot better.
Yeah, well, I'd say it works on a lot of different levels. Now, in Indian thought, okay, they talk about that the aura, or the human existence, has different layers, what they call koshas. The first one's the physical body, right? So when it comes to health, that's called the food body, actually, in literal.
Oh, well, that's too far. You've got a big food body.
So what we eat and how we work with our body obviously contributes to our well-being, right?
Where have you gone wrong, Craig?
Yeah. And then we have, you know, we were talking about the Tai Chi and things. Then we have what's called the energy body. So the energy body, that second kosha, is like all these enfold the soul. So that one is like the spiritual energy that we have, you know, the spiritual energy that we use that connects the body through healing, that life force, right? And then we have another one that wraps all around the human soul. So we have a body, we have the spiritual body, the like energy body, and then we have the psychological body, you know, the part of us that can also heal, like the way we think well. And we get better. So if the mind thinks well, those other two bodies underneath, as it were, the energy body, will then react to the physical body.
Well, sensitive people, for a start, can have anxiety attacks and things, and they can pick up energy in other people's thoughts and that. So they need to keep the mind still, and you need to take a breath and let things out, and just calmly sit down and try and let all your worries go, because the mind can be very much a monkey mind, where you have one thought comes in, another thought, and then you find you can't sleep and everything. So
what I'm saying is that there's three bodies I've described. Now you described another one now. So what I'm saying is there's like the physical body, there's the energy body, there's the mental body, and then we come to the next one, which is kind of like, they call it the I can't remember the name, Vishvanaya Chok. No, can't remember the name of it, but there's like the intuitive. I learned a lot from that. There's the intuitive body, right? So we have this intuitive psychic body as well, right? These are all the levels of the human existence, and beyond that is the bliss, the absolute, the final, as it were. So what we're basically doing is, in order to be healthy, we have to bring the energy down, as it were, from the higher spiritual body into the physical body.
Well, treat your body like a temple. You are what you eat.
Well, that's the first one, isn't it? Essential.
Well, if people have a lot of alcohol, for example, it's going to affect the kidneys. It's going to affect the liver.
Nigel Smith,
right? Yeah. It's going to affect your well-being. It's like, if people want to eat healthy, then they're going to be healthy. If people want to be vegetarian, some people need more protein, some people need a lot of carbs. Everybody's different. It depends, and it's true what the Indians say. It depends on your physical size, your weight, and your energy. But if you eat healthy and don't have processed foods, then you're putting good energy into your body, into your solar plexus.
Yeah, well, you're working first and foremost on the physical body, the food body. That's what they call it, the food. But the food body is worked by all that dietary stuff, and then of course you've got the like I'm saying, you're now talking about the energy in the food is important.
Oh yes,
because
I believe that if a woman cooks anything, she's cooking with love with her family. So you're putting that energy in. But if you've got a greedy man like this one, well, what can a woman do? What can I say? No, a woman is cooking with
psychic
love.
way to lose weight.
Yeah, but this is why, like in France, they buy the food fresh, don't they? So cooking with fresh products.
And they do say that if you cook the food with hate, you fill the food with poison. Because energetically, again, that makes a big difference. And we all go and eat rubbish takeaway food, as we do 7 days a week.
We don't eat 7 days a week. Correction.
If you eat takeaway food, not only are you getting bad MSG and all those things put into the food, but you're also getting the energy of the person that made it.
Fats,
yeah, that's why in spiritual societies they pray over the food. They offer it to God, as it were, so that it cleanses the food itself, because they consider that energetic input into the food is more important than the actual ingredients.
So it's like we all make like 2018, we just say, oh, we want to lose weight, we want to run more, we want to do things and healthy.
2002, I think.
And healthy. Keep going, Craig, to 2020, darling. But that's what they're saying. So it's start of this year by being healthy, being strong, being positive, and you can do that. It's like doing a mantra. It's like you need encouragement. You need people to keep you going and that. So healthy living is the answer and the key to all illnesses, isn't it?
Well, I think the key to healthy living is not food, it's not exercise, it's not any of these things, it's where your mental state is, or more importantly, where your spiritual state is. Because, like, for example, people, I do a lot of yoga, as you know, and I do it every day, and I've been really involved in yoga through my life, and more so now, all the time. And the big mistake people make about yoga is they think that yoga is about making the body healthy. But what it actually is, it's stimulating the body to open up its powers. The body has healing powers. It has regenerative powers. It has incredible powers that all these yoga exercises teach you to connect with. Well, you know, those higher levels that I was talking about earlier.
Look about cats, the natural creatures that do yoga, don't they? Stretches.
Yeah, well, all the yoga postures were based upon animal stretches. That's why they've got so many animal names
South
to
Africa
it.
On there.
Yeah. So, if anybody's got any comments on this, please comment, or if you've got any ideas about the theme we're kind of linking around at the moment, is really about health, spiritual health, and how our mental and spiritual state can actually affect our well-being. In fact, I would even go a stage further, that our mental and spiritual state can actually affect the events that actually happen to us. That we have a power, the power of consciousness is so strong that people have no idea how our thoughts can actually make things change and happen for good or bad.
Positive thoughts.
It's like your mum. Okay, she's lovely. Your mum's nice, right? But she'll say, if you get a stomach ache, it will be saying, "Oh, it could be cancer," or "Oh, I've got an itch. Oh, it could be melanoma." And you think, just a minute, that's witchcraft.
My mum's not a witch.
No, but unconsciously, what you're doing is you're projecting a negative thought, and you're putting the seeds in a person's mind that I'm not well. You might consciously say, what a lot of nonsense. But by putting a seed in a person's mind, those seeds will grow. So what I'm saying, the fruits are determined by the seed.
Well, a lot of things come also from people's DNA, Craig, as well.
Well, yes, but maybe they don't. Maybe the DNA in the body have nothing to do with it whatsoever. That the reality, the most powerful thing of the lot, is that power of thought, that power of consciousness.
Michael from next door. Hi, Michael from next door. Hi, South Africa. Hi, Australia and Russia.
So what the thought I'm saying here is that, that we can that our minds are not more than our minds, our soul, our spiritual self. If we can visualize anything in life, perfect health can be ours. We can have anything we want in life if we can visualize it properly. The only thing that holds it in our way is our karma. Yeah. Any thoughts?
Well, I think it's like before we tune in, or before we meditate or tune into the spirit realm, I, for example, need to drink lots of water and things, because I find that it gets rid of all the toxins in the body and it clears your mind.
Well, and also, I mean, this is something that you do as a medium. I mean, in spiritualism, they always give you a large jug of water by the side when you're demonstrating in a spiritualist church. And of course, the important thing with that is it's not just about, you know, clearing your throat and making sure you can have a drink. The water is actually clears the negative energy, doesn't it? When you're doing a spirit link, between spirit links, you'll always drink copious amounts of water to clear the energy of the last link and to clear any negative conditions that you pick up the spirit communicator. So they're talking about a lung condition or brain tumor. You've got to clear that by drinking. So water has a great power.
Well, it's like all the herbs that's on God's earth. They've got good effects on us. I mean, people are very much into what's that herb we like?
Turmeric.
Yeah,
that's got tremendous powers.
Because the Indian people use that a lot, and it seems to work.
Constipate you though if you take too much.
You can speak for yourself. You speak for yourself. You need a whole bottle then. No, but all these herbs and things mean things. It's like when you're a child, you fall into stinging nettles, and then you find a dock leaf and rub it. Don't you? Everything works.
Well, they all these things that we're talking about, when you think about it, they all work on different levels. I suppose herbs work on a level both on physically,
hello, is that
chemically
bread
clearing the body, but also again on an energetic level. I mean, the most interesting one that happened to me, because I mean, those of you that have read any of my books, or my latest books particularly, will know about that I've been consulting in India, the Naadi oracles, and they came up with some absolutely mind-boggling stuff. And one of the things that I was getting, you remember the headaches I was getting, Jane, wasn't I? I was getting what I think
constant headaches.
Yeah, constant. I think
constant pain.
Yeah. Well, I think it was too much talking at me. But whatever the cause,
selective hearing, we call it.
It was getting pretty serious, wasn't it? I was getting what I think they call cluster headaches, which are absolutely devastating. Your whole side of your temples goes. I was absolutely getting very worried about it, going getting scans and things and whatever. And cluster headaches are one of those things they can't really diagnose properly, but the people that get them, if anybody out there gets cluster headaches, I mean, will know that these are called the suicide headaches because they get so bad. And I was getting these terrible headaches and I didn't know what to do about it. I couldn't think what to do. I thought, I'm going to go and consult the oracle and see what it says. So I got in touch with my friends in India and said, you know, is there anything I can do? So they looked up the oracle, and what I got was a series of remedies, as they call them. And these remedies are not necessarily always things you can take. They give you remedies such as mantras and rituals. So I started doing these, right? One of the rituals was...
Looks like the whole world's coming on listening to us.
Well, one of these rituals was to put a little bit of flour every day in the river. Okay, not a flower, but a little packet of flour. So I walked down to the river every day and put a bit of flour in the river, right? I started doing that. And then I had to make this concoction and do a mantra over it. Now, the concoction was basically peppers, 3 different sorts of peppers, some turmeric, paste, and that essence of turmeric, the actual dye that goes into turmeric, some ginger, and then also the most difficult one to get, some ivory. Okay, now that's a pretty bad one because obviously nobody wants to go and killing elephants to put in medicines, and there's a big moral thing about that. But I managed to get some old ivory. I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go and do it. So I ground up some old ivory and put it in it.
An old ivory for an old man.
Yeah. And but as I was doing it, I had a cluster headache. I was absolutely in agony, and I had to rub this yellow paste all over my forehead and wear it for 3 days. I mean, it looked ridiculous because it had all little bits in it from the pepper and everything, and all the red, and so I looked sort of a bit wild. But the instant I put it on there, it cured me, and it went. And those cluster headaches have not come back at all ever. Now, whether that was placebo effect that I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to get better because of this. But, I was thinking, no, this could be a placebo thing. So I'm already rejecting it in my mind, the fact that it could be a placebo effect. But it actually took it away. And when I inquired about this, I said, well, if this is a cure for cluster headaches, it's a marvelous thing. They said, no, that formula can only be used for you in connection with the mantras you're doing and the chants you're doing. So it was, in effect, a form of magic. So that completely
and positive thinking.
And, well, a positive thinking to be. I don't think I was trying positive thinking and everything on it.
You're
before.
not positive enough, Craig.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty positive. But that was, I thought, a pretty remarkable thing, that something so weird could actually cure something that was given me nearly a year of absolute agony, gone, and has not come back, and I don't think it ever will come back. So, healing, health. I mean, we can take all the drugs in the world from the doctors, but how often do we ever really consider this idea that we can change every single aspect of our health? Again, in a lot of the deeper things of yoga, they say, if you've got pain, focus on it. Put your full attention on it.
I'm just going to clip you out here.
Well, you have a chat then and tell them what you think about it.
No,
any ideas, folks? Let's have some comments.
Well, I think water. I believe in water because it stops dehydration. It's good for you. Water is a living life force, really, isn't it? Water, and we can survive on water. The body can survive on water, I believe, for 39 days.
Yeah,
is that right?
I'm not sure, but there's certainly. Again, what's the percent? We're 80% or something water, aren't we, each of us? So a lot of looking at the Indian teachings, again, the healing sides, they say, of all the things you take into your body, the most important is the water you drink. And that's why...
Brazil. Hello, Brazil.
It's important to do things such as take in, they say to put the water in a copper cup because that purifies its energy. And you leave, and also sterilizes the water too. So in places like India, it's good to have it in copper because it helps sterilize it. But at the same time, these things, and they say to put a cup of water, and when you have put it in the copper cup, this is what I'm going to do. So cup. If you do any pujas or things like that on chantings and things, to chant over the water and drink it, and you will absorb the energy of the chants and things from that water. This is water that's in here, not tea, by the way. So what we got in people talking, though?
Well, we've got Brazil.
Thoughts,
Brazil. We've got Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Water is very healing, powerful. Now, this girl's a lovely nurse. We've got New Zealand, Brazil, America. Michael from next door.
It looks like a lot of you from the comments really
and
sort of seem to...
Lovely Claire.
Yeah.
And we also got Iceland and that. But, all around the world, they have different herbs and different things, different belief systems and things that work. I mean, when we went to the Seychelles, for instance, when we went to the, the
Coco Cabana?
Not
no, something like that. Something like
that.
Song. I know, but that's the only thing I can...
Barry Manilow.
Yeah.
No, Coco de Mer.
Coco de Mer, that's it. Yeah. Coco something.
Yeah, they relied on all that.
I'm getting old.
Yeah, very. But all these things...
There's a negative thought for myself, isn't it? To talk,
you never have negative thoughts
old age
about
thinking,
yourself.
That's a real bad one. That's how people really put themselves in the grave.
No. But I think if you surround yourself with good people, and people that are really kind, loving, we can all work well together. But it's when you get nasty, narrow-minded people that are condemning people. I mean, we've had a friend of ours this evening that a man never ever met her, I won't say her name, but it's completely nasty to her. It's so uncalled for because this person's a good person, very gifted.
Who was this then?
Not you, and very gifted. And she's nasty for the sake of nastiness, because that's a person obviously who's got nothing better to do in their life and don't understand anything about clairvoyance, mediumship or spiritual healers or anything. So I feel so sorry for that person, because that person is creating negative energy. And
wouldn't you say, the whole theme again, if anyone just joined us, the theme we've been kind of talking about is health, what is health and what levels health works on. And there you've given an example, again, of sort of witchery in a way, because the negativity of a person's thoughts towards you are extremely, extremely powerful. Even if you're not conscious of it, I feel, because thoughts are things.
Thoughts
can
thoughts.
heal and thoughts can harm.
Well, every thought you give out to the ether are real thoughts, positive energy again. Or sometimes you could think of somebody and suddenly they phone you up. Or sometimes you can have really good thoughts. I haven't heard from so-and-so for a long time. Suddenly there's a knock at the door.
And what about the thoughts you have about yourself? You know, oh, I suffer so much. I'm in such trouble. Oh,
well,
look at me. Look at all the emotional problems I have. You're making yourself ill, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what most people do, I'm afraid. Most people indulge and love to indulge in their problems, and like to make a big thing out of it, you know.
Or people saying
to people, just self-destructive.
Well, people saying to people, "Oh, you're ugly," and that, and they suddenly become ugly. Nobody's ugly. Everyone's beautiful.
And particularly me, and that's the important.
You're ugly.
See, that's the thing. You think positive of yourself, and even more. That's a good way to combat a lot of the problems in your life. Again, going back to all these things that I've learned in India.
You've got somebody coming and say, "Are you working on another movie?" Yes, we are at the moment. But shh, it's top secret.
Yeah, and actually, that's another quite important thing. You know, I go on about the India and all the things I've done in India. Most of you haven't seen the movie we've made called Mystic Journey to India. We put it onto Amazon, we've decided. Okay, so if you're on Amazon Prime, well, you don't even have to be on Prime, I think. You can just go through the Amazon store. It'll be on there probably by about Tuesday, I think. It's all been approved. It's all been accepted. And it's called Mystic Journey to India. And it shows the story of how I went over to India and did all these remedies I'm talking about. A lot of the magic. I met holy men. I went to places that even the Indians don't go. And I just actually up to my neck in mysticism, and discovered and found some incredible things. So any of you that say have read my book Mystic Journey to India, which was the story of the film, or Messages from the Universe, the other one that I've written about all these adventures into the spirit, you can see the movie now very shortly. So have a look on Amazon Prime. Keep a note on it. It's not up there yet, but it'll be up there any day now. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, 9 o'clock UK time on Facebook. Jane and I will try to be there every Thursday. Okay, Thursday, 9 o'clock UK time. See you there. If you enjoyed this video, then follow Jane and I on our adventures around the world by subscribing. You can click that button, or you can click the little bell thingy on the main page, and then you'll get regular updates every time we upload something new. Like the page and also make your comments. We look forward to seeing you next time.